Hey Yetis, here we go. Happy Thanksgiving. We are almost to break, and so I figured it'd be a good time just to put out a little message to you. Feel free to hold off and watch it on Sunday if you're getting ready to shift gears into vacation mode. But I figured some people might want a little bit of the specifics of how things are going to look when we get back. Okay, so first and foremost, oh my gosh, thanks so much. 13 weeks, we made it. There are a lot of schools, something like 75% of schools across the country haven't even stepped foot in a building. And we have had an amazing year so far. So, what we know is that that dial has ticked into the red, and it is time for us to take a pause and make sure that we focus on our community's health for a few weeks. But just be assured, this is a pause, and we will be back in person. And we have in person plans ready to go when we fall back into orange or yellow, and we'll be ready to rock. And hopefully that'll come as soon as we get back in January. So again, thanks for all that you've done to keep us in person this year. And I'll talk a little bit about what this pause is going to look like for the next 3 weeks. But of course, if I don't go over something in this video, or heck, if you don't even want to watch the video and you just want to reach out and say, "Hey, Smith, let's talk," feel free to hit me up. I'd be happy to fill you in on how things are going to look or answer any questions. There's my contact. All right, here we go. So remember, starting Monday after Thanksgiving break, we're going to transition to online learning just for a 3 week pause. All right. So what we've done here is we've actually taken those 3 weeks and we've divided them into two instructional blocks. Okay. So we've narrowed it down to only 4 classes for each block. And so what that's going to look like is from November 30th through December 8th, students will attend the same 4 classes for those 7 school days. So for the first block, they'll only have periods 1, 2, be legendary, period 5, and 6. And so every day for 7 straight school days, they'll have the same classes. Okay. And then they'll switch out of those classes and then they'll go into block 2. Block 2 will last from December 10th to December 18th. And then students will only have periods 3, 4, 5, and 7. So some people call this a 4 by 4 schedule. And what it does is it blocks it out so students really are able to focus on a shorter or a smaller, a fewer amount of classes per block, and therefore getting more done in that time frame and not being spread so thin. Okay, so what that looks like on a calendar here is, like I said, we're in Thanksgiving break. We come back and they're going to have periods 1, 2, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 5, and 6, and so on, all the way through December 8th. Wednesdays will look very similar to what we've been doing. And then on the 10th, they'll switch into classes 3, 4, 5, and 7. And they'll run those classes for the next 7 school days till the end of our December school session and the end of the semester. Okay. By the way, that has been requested, like, hey, can I have a printout of that? What I'm going to do is right below this video, I'm going to link all of these slides. And if you've got a printer at home, you can just print out all these ones that provide schedules and calendars and things like that. It might be nice to post on the fridge. Okay, so we've talked about this in the past in other videos, but every day is going to have a live session and an on-demand session, right? Live, the teacher will be teaching it live. Kids need to be there, logged in with the teacher live. And then during the on-demand session, we call that asynchronous, which means students can log in and do that work during that block of time, but they're not going to meet directly with a teacher. Okay. And really what we say is it should kind of be done during this time frame. But if they do it at a different time, maybe after school or something like that, it just has to be done before the next class or before the communicated deadline. All right, so this is a typical schedule that's going to look like for a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it'll be on demand, live in the afternoon, live in the morning on Tuesday, on demand in the afternoon, and then Wednesdays will still be student directed. Okay. And then what we've asked you here is, classes are going to start at 8:15, and the same way that you help get your kiddo onto the bus or drive them to school, make sure that they walk into the door at Snowy Peaks by 8:15. We're really going to lean on you guys, families. Please help us by making sure that your student is on the computer and ready to go for those live classes by 8:15 in the morning. All right. Okay, so yeah, we talked about this on-demand classes. So those are boxed out here in red. Just remember that the completion of the on-demand work actually sets them up to be successful in the live class. So what we do on this day is so important that they might not be successful in the live class if they don't do it. So they really need to make sure that they complete their on-demand work. And if they don't complete that on demand work, they're going to be marked absent. Okay. So by doing the work is how they're marked present. All right. And so, Brenda will have to follow up and seek a reason for the absence and things like that. So it just really makes it easier on everybody involved if we do this on demand work. And so, what we're going to be focused on during that time is it's going to be best spent on items that do not typically require teacher support. So, your scholar might be watching an instructional video during that time, or practicing, or pre-writing, or something like that, so that when they walk into the live class, they're ready to go. And then those live classes that we talked about, that is going to be the time where, man, that is direct teacher support, and that's probably where the most often graded work is going to occur, because that's where we want to put our efforts in helping our students. And so attendance during the live sessions is going to be taken as students log in and that they are live with the teacher. On Wednesday, oh, sorry, then and during Unplugged, we've still chunked out, a big bit of time right in the middle of the day for students to their Unplugged period. And remember, Unplugged is an opportunity for students to take a break from technology, take a break from their stress, and do something that is good for themselves. And then on Wednesdays will still remain student or scholar directed virtual days. What we have done though is we've moved our Wednesday experiential learning opportunities to the mornings. And, with the snow falling and different opportunities going on out, maybe out in nature, we thought our students might like to do their nature activities first thing in the morning, or other activities that they can knock out before lunch. And remember, all those experiential learning opportunities are now done independently, and yet we still may open up the school for some experiential learning opportunities if students want to. We have seen a significant decrease in person attendance for our experiential learning. Okay. Still blocked out some time for lunch. And then this is a big one right here. Okay. Every Wednesday afternoon, we're going to run academic support and WIN period, which is that acronym for what I need. But we're going to have very specific times where students can log in and get direct support from the teacher for that block of classes. So from 12:05 to 12:55, they can meet with that first period teacher. 12:55 to 1:45, second period teacher, sixth period teacher from 1:45 to 2:35. All right. The other thing that we should definitely talk about is this in person support on Wednesday afternoons. So, just like we've been doing, students can come into the building if they need in person support. They can come in starting at 11:30 all the way through 2:30. There'll be a group of teachers there supporting students. We'll still be following all of our health and safety protocols. Um, and we'll be serving, obviously a smaller portion of our students at that time, but there is in-person support. And, we know that some students really would appreciate and benefit from having the ability to come into school for that. Okay. So here's what the schedule looks like out the door. Again, I highly recommend click on the link below this video, open these slides up. If you can print them, go ahead and print them and hang them on the fridge. Okay. So that first day after the Thanksgiving break, we're going to have a full school morning meeting with attendance being taken. 8:15 to 8:45, we're going to check in and make sure students know what to do. Then we'll switch into 2 on-demand classes where students can work on that work during their own morning at their pace, and won't be live with a teacher. They'll have lunch and unplugged till 12:40, and then at 12:40, they'll need to be live with their Be Legendary teacher and live with their 6th-hour elective teacher as well. Okay. And then that schedule just simply flips on Tuesdays. So in the morning, they'll be live with their morning classes, and then they'll go to on demand in their afternoon classes. Wednesdays, I just talked about that schedule. And then we just Thursday and Friday just mirror Monday and Tuesday. All right. So on demand in the morning, live in the afternoon. Fridays live in the morning and on demand in the afternoon. And for those of you who are parents of academic athletes, you'll notice that this coincides really, really well with their ski and snowboard training schedule. So we did that intentionally to help you guys out. Okay. The next week, same exact thing. and that takes us through the end of our first block on Tuesday. Then we'll have a Wednesday with support. And then starting on Thursday, December 10th, as I mentioned earlier, we switch classes. And then we start running our second block of periods 3, 4, 5, and 7. And then those classes, 3, 4, 5, and 7, will run all the way through the end of the semester. And then we'll break for the holiday, and hopefully we'll be right back in person, picking up where we left off starting in January. Okay. I hope that answers almost all of your questions and helps you kind of plan out a little bit of what you're going to need to know. Um, Other important info, right? So as I mentioned before, in-person support is available. And so, if you're in a situation where your child really, in order to be successful, just needs to be in school in person, we're going to have availability for just very limited spots for students to come in and work if they need to. Okay. And so, depending on whether some of our teachers are working from home or working in school, there will always be someone at school who can help facilitate in-person support, though. Okay. um, you will still need to do the symptom tracker every single morning, and I know some people are probably like, wait a minute, my kid's not even walking in the door, why do we have to do a symptom tracker? And it's because public health is going to be monitoring those numbers, and are people experiencing COVID symptoms, or are those numbers going up or down before they'll allow us to come back into school. So it's going to be really important to do the symptom tracker. And actually, on our on demand days, we're going to use that symptom tracker also as our attendance. So if the day starts with an on demand class and your child does not do their symptom tracker, they're going to be marked absent. So we're going to, rather than send you multiple forms, we're going to do it all on that one form. So it's important that you do it. And then, in speaking about attendance, just remember, daily attendance, whether we are online or in person, whether we're live or on demand, it is required. Okay. And so compulsory attendance law says all of our students have to go to school every single day, and that's the law. So we want to make sure that we don't run into any hiccups there. So please make sure your students are attending school every single day. And then grading, if there's any questions about grading, I can walk you through the specifics, but really, the grading policy is going to be no different because we've moved to online. It's still going to have the expectation that students complete all their work and give us a body of evidence so we can assess their knowledge and their skills and give them an accurate assessment of those things. So that's about it. Okay. I think that's all I have. Yep. So any questions or feedback for me, please reach out. I am happy to talk to you. And feel free to call me over the break if you're experiencing any anxieties about how things are going to go, or if you have any questions. I will be available. I'll have my cell phone with me, and I just wish all of you guys a nice, relaxing, and wonderful break. Stay safe. Please take care of each other. Take care of yourselves, and of course, reach out if I can do anything to help. Have a great day.